Hello. One of the rules that apply to the first Seder, the one at the actual event at the time of the Exodus from Egypt, is that the paschal lamb, the sacrifice, and the matzah and the maror should be eaten in haste, bi-hipazon. And this is one of a set of rules that were given for the very first Seder, but which don't apply to the Seders that we've been holding ever since every year on the first night of Passover. We are not commanded to do the Seder in haste and to go whatever it is that we consume during the Seder to eat them in haste. We may be a bit pressed for time, but there's no religious obligation to do the bi-hipazon in haste. And the people who deal with these and try and find explanations have come up with a number of suggestions. First of all, the question is who this haste that took place, that was present, that was relevant at the very first night, the night of the actual Exodus. Who was in haste? Some say, of course, that it was Israel. The Jews were in haste to leave. But some say that it was the Egyptians who were in a hurry to get rid of the Jews because of all the plagues that they were bringing on them. And there's even an opinion that it's divine haste, hi-Cohen shechina, something that sounds very unacceptable, but I think it's meant to emphasize that the Exodus took place at the very last minute. As Maimonides tells us in his summary of the Pesach story, the Jews had sunken so deeply into the depravity of Egypt that they were on the verge of being completely lost, and everything that Abraham and his children had done over the generations to build up this people of believers adhering to a strict moral code was almost going to be lost. So this divine haste really gives expression to the idea that we were just at the last minute rescued before the whole project begun by Abraham would have come to an end. Now, I'm not going to take a stance in any of those three options, or they could all be right, of course, and go into any detail, but rather take up a fourth insight and not really attempt to explain what was the haste of the Jews that the Jews were commanded to eat hastily the Seder meal on the very first Exodus, but a sort of homily, a very, I think, important psychological, spiritual insight that was given to this by the great master Rabbi Zadok ha-Cohen Lublin. He points out that when the first move usually towards someone doing Teshuvah, and by Teshuvah I don't mean repenting a particular sin, though that's obviously the classic case, but the urge to bring yourself to the next level, to refine yourself, to improve your moral character. Even if you've already taken great strides in that direction, there's always room for improvement. The first urge is something that swells up within inside of you, and only you know that it's real. I can't tell you, but you know that it's real. And you have to seize the moment. If you take advantage of that and say, okay, that's right, from now on, I'm moving on to the next stage. I'm going to take certain necessary steps to eliminate bad habits and get on a higher spiritual track. Fine, you're on your way. But so many times people get that urge and they just suppress it, ignore it. They can't get into it right now. It's too much, and it's lost forever. Because that type of moment, that revelatory moment when you feel deep within that you've got to do it, may not come again. And so that's what the haste is. The haste is the first move. Now it's interesting that he connects this to the prophecy in the Yeshayahu in Isaiah, who, speaking of the future redemption of the Jews, says, "Ki lo bi-hipazon tetzeu, v'lo b'nusa u'mnusa lo telechon." The future redemption will not be in haste, will not be in some panic fleeing. And he says, for sure, once you've seized the moment and decided you're going to put into practice that urge that swelled up in you, that's the critical point. But from then on, you can take it easy. There's a lot of slow, hard work, and anyone who's tried to, make progress on the spiritual path knows that it's a lot of slow, hard work. So he actually connects the bi-hipazon, the haste of the Exodus, the first Exodus, the redemption of the Jewish people from the Egyptians' bondage, to the future redemption, the complete and full redemption. And on the personal level, makes it an interesting point how it begins with this momentary insight, flash, that I have to do something. It's definitely true. And then when you seize it and don't let it pass and don't brush it off, then in a slower pace and in a more determined and planned out way, you can make your progress on this. So I hope that you've got something out of this insight and that you have a very happy Pesach, and everyone will take the necessary steps to get on the correct path to spiritual improvement. Thank you very much.